What's up, guys? Shouri here, and today I'm going to talk to you about some of the most intense 5v5 games I have ever played. So, we are going to go over a few different characters and why I switch in the middle of the games towards different ones and the strategies I use, which helped us clutch up in these intense games. So, right here, we are paying attention for the fort to be behind us because we knew he was going around the side, and because of our passive, we can kind of see when he's about to get to us. So we were able to hit double headshots and get him out. Right here, what we're doing is focusing down their healers. So we got to do our best to push our team forward and just help them on the cart. The best thing we can do is kind of stay back a little bit and just have a really good view of the field of players, and that way we can never get surprised by having people come behind us on mark or have someone switch to a sniper. The biggest thing that we're responsible for is staying away from the tanks and killing the healers for our team. So that's what we're going to do. Right here we are actually pushing forward a little bit onto the cart, and then we are staying next to the heal in case we get in trouble. Sadly, we got wrecked by that Jabali. We are actually going to switch to a Scotty, and the reason for that is when you're in these closer quarters, it's so much easier to flip out using your abilities and get down those healers with a Scotty than a sniper. I know that the sniper probably seems like it's the best bet because of the fact that you can one-shot the healers, but having the mobility of a Scotty can actually be a much better tactic. And right here, we are staying behind our guy's shield, and then we're going to flip in and just try to get in behind him. First thing we want to do is find the Iris. And then after the Iris, we go for the Chemist, and then we want to get back to our team behind the shields. And now that our team doesn't have to worry about the healers, we can much easier take out their tanks and then their lone DPS guy. So my job is to make sure that I'm watching for those healers to come back, and I ended up doing a long range ult thinking that it would be a really cool clip, and I just missed, so that wasn't great. And then we do end up hitting our web, and the web glitch happens to where the guy just keeps moving, so that was fun. But luckily we were able to get behind them, and they're so focused on getting to the cart, because they kind of have to be, that we're able to take advantage of that, flip back in, and then cap. But with 4 minutes and 20 seconds against another team of 5, we are by no means safe. I start out as a tank thinking that that's probably the best thing I can kind of do for my team given the shields and the damage support of the fort. The problem is, my entire team died basically immediately. Not their fault, the other team just did a really good job, and there really wasn't much we could do there. I do end up getting killed even after the heal, and then I'm going to try to go in and help my team as much as possible, but they were already playing from behind by the time I got there. Luckily, I was able to do pretty good bit of damage and then get in behind their healer and make sure they didn't have access to the heal room. The big problem is they all had shields and my team was getting dropped from behind, and it is a pretty big issue here. So we don't necessarily even have to kill them. We just have to slow them down enough to get the cart. That's why I'm not worried about getting the kill. I'm just trying to get back to the cart. But the problem with that is we didn't have the damage to actually get them down enough, so the Jabalis and all the healers were able to easily take us out once they got up close. But right here, I am trying to distract them and let my Mark kind of come from behind and do his work, but I am in very, very big trouble. Luckily, I have really good movement with Scotty, and that's what makes him such a dangerous hero. So, the reason that Scotty is so good is the fact that you can web to get away, you can flip, and you can do pretty good damage, as well as lock people in place, especially healers, which can help your team end up targeting them and do a lot. The biggest problem that my team's having is we don't have a healer, and we really need to start stopping them a lot more than we have. They only have to go a little bit more, and they have an entire 2 minutes to do it. So, luckily for me, I was able to go ahead and work with this mark to get everyone pretty low, and stay alive long enough to get a heal while doing pretty good damage. We were able to take the Yaw out with our ult, and really what we're doing is prioritizing staying alive over everything else, because all we have to do is stall, and I am really one of the only people who has the mobility to do damage and stay alive without necessarily needing to get healed. But they kind of just went too far, and we had to have someone go healer, and that had to be me. The problem is, my whole team, other than that one Christina, is dead right here. And you can't heal yourself. So I am going to need to just have the most insane and, let's be honest, lucky movement in the world just to try to stay alive here and then heal my team through the most intense minute and a half of play. Because remember, we still have to go for another half a minute at this point, and they just have to go a very small amount. But we're able to stay on the other side of the fort shields, which gave us a much easier time of things. And every time they tried to get on me, I would go on the other side of the fort shield and just keep running around the cart and just spamming my heal as much as possible. Iris is actually one of the best characters in 5v5 and one of the most underused. And if you guys want a video on this, let me know, and I'll show you guys how to play Iris in 5v5, which is much different than every other mode. But basically, since you can't heal yourself, you have to focus on healing everyone else and then putting your debuff on people, which allows your team to do 20% more damage. But what makes it such a strong hero, actually, is the fact that if you have people who aren't used to communicating and calling out, what you can do is you can highlight the healers or the tanks or whatever's really being a problem, and that'll let your teammates see them through walls and everywhere on the map, and it helps them know that this person takes more damage, so you can focus more easily as a team. So in this next game, my entire team AFK'd except for that one guy that's on the mark. So yeah, they all basically stopped in the last round. So all of them are bots. That's why they're all running in these weird patterns. Yeah, it's rough. So basically we're playing this solo. And, you know, we did cap like a pretty good distance. So, you know, we got this. It's intense, I'm not gonna lie. But right here, we are in so much trouble. A great job by that fort to end up playing it. But you can see how much my teammates are just legit bots. It is so sad. Bots do not happen in 5v5, and they don't happen on Escort. They were never meant to. But if a player turns this device off, they do turn into robots. The code was just never meant to be on this map, and it shows it wasn't programmed that way. But right here, what we're going to do is jump out over the ledge. That way we get away from the fort and a shield, and then we're going to hit our 5v5 ability on the way down. That way we get even more distance and get behind everyone. And then we are going to go ahead, kill the healer, and then just try to kind of push up. We have to be careful here. We don't want to shoot too early and kind of give our position away to everyone and make them focus us. We need to have some trigger discipline and only take shots when we're ready to get the kills, and that's going to allow us to do a lot better here. That being said, we are using the Victor as a bullet catch and only have 51 health. This is a little rough. But with our ult and staying over here behind this wall, we are able to do a pretty good job of living and end up getting the heal. And then they're so busy just trying to kill all my tank bots that I'm actually able to do a pretty good job of cleaning them up and staying alive while doing it. I have no shot of winning this game if they get past the midpoint, and I know that. So I can't let them overrun me, and since my teammates are all but one of them bots, it is pretty much up to me to finish every single kill. Sadly, it's just a monumental task. Luckily, we were able to go ahead and kill Fort, and then kill their other tank in the Jabali, and then we just do our best to go ahead, take down Mark, and then we do finally get taken by Yaw. Very unfortunate, and as you can see, the bots don't know how to get past this point because it was never programmed that way. So my guy's literally just like stuck on the other side of the wall until they finally do end up getting the checkpoint. Then my teammates can play again. Yeah, that's fun. And honestly, at this point, there's 3 minutes. They don't really have to go that far. I mean, the second I die, we pretty much lose. But hey, let's go ahead, try to get the heal, and make a show of it. So we go ahead and throw our smoke and then fake out the Jabali. And what we want to do is make sure we get out of there before it comes back up. Sadly, we died, and I mean, my teammates are all bots. I'm just going to stand there and wait for it to end. As you can see, they all did no damage and no kills. It's rough. Almost all of their damage was to shields. But this was a very different game. All of my teammates were teams. And we were on Europe server around 200 ping. I know it says 100 in the corner, but that's because they're lying to us about ping. So yeah, we were playing one of the best ranked players in the world in Shiv, so that was fun, and we just absolutely do work. So it is a little hard to play on Europe server, and I was having the friendless glitch back then and didn't actually know what it was at the time. So we ended up lowering our graphics as low as possible. That's why it looks this way, but luckily you can still see just good enough. It's fine. But we do know at this point that we cannot actually die or we're gonna lose. If we end up dying, there's very small chance that we can get back to the hill before the game ends. So I know that at this point, I cannot miss these shots. I need to try to do my best to keep the fort shields down and then kill all of the Yaws and Aletas from my team. The Yaw goes ahead and hits his ult, so we gotta be careful and just do our best to stay alive. Luckily, we hit him in the head, and then they do end up chasing us onto the Jabali. We do end up getting the kill, and then leaping out. Our teammates are able to just remain in the hill and keep it for themselves. So right here, we're in a great position. We took the lead for the first time in the game, and I'm just trying my best to keep my teammates back on the left. Sadly, we do end up dying on the right. We did get to 99%, but they end up taking the hill, and they got to 99 as well. So I know right here, I need to start hitting some crazy shots, because if I don't, we are going to lose. But if we wipe their whole team, we have a pretty much guaranteed round win, and that's exactly what ends up happening. Shout out to my teammates for actually going on the hill and playing healers and tanks and stuff. Like, I mean, you can't ask for too much more. But we do end up having another rough start, just like the first round, to where they do end up taking the hill, but we're able to help start to break it by killing both of their healers and then starting to take out some of their long-range DPS. Shout out to my team, doing a great job to get those shields and keep me alive, even if I don't have any health. They are kind of rushing me with the healer, but we were able to take the Iris out, and with all of these shields all around, I figure it's probably the best time to go out and try to get a heal. I ended up getting sniped in the face though, so that was great. But my team does end up having a little bit of a lead here, and we're just trying to help push up and help them on that victor. But we got to be really careful with this Mark here. Mark just does so much damage. Luckily, he was getting a little sidetracked by my teammates, so I was able to go in and try to focus more onto the tanks. But the problem is he got unbusy and it didn't work out. But we take out the healer, and then we're trying to do our best to get that guy off our yacht, but I just suck and can't hit shots. The 200 ping doesn't normally help too much, but a lot of it's just me being terrible. Luckily, we were able to go ahead and kill the Scotty who had the Iris's heal on him, so we take the heal out as well when that happens, and then we go straight for the Iris, doing our best just to do whatever damage we can to the Aleta. We do take him out, and we were able to actually take the hill, and then we go ahead, take out the Jabali, and then there's a Scotty behind us, and man, Talk about heart pumping games, bro. Like, there is nothing worse than when you know you can't die and then you have like a Scotty hitting you in the back in 5v5. It's rough. But luckily, we are able to take out a lot of their team in the hill, and all of my team is exactly where I need them to be. They have 2 tanks left, but we are doing so much damage to them. It is just pretty much an easy win, and I just got to keep this guy backed away from the hill. Nothing he can do but run forward, and since he is going to die to it, it works out perfect. Last guy is the Scotty. We are able to take him out, get back behind the shield, and win the game. Having 20 kills and 4 deaths, and then 15 and 4, we do take out Shiv, which is a very good player. And then, after that, we get done playing those Master Rank players, then we play people from Eternal Unity. I mean, I just could not catch a break. And as you can see, it's a minute 20 left. That's because my team didn't do anything for the first 2 minutes. And to be very clear, I mean my team including me, not just them. Yeah, it was rough. But then I started to turn some things on, man. I was tired of losing. I was like, you know what? We're going to get this. I don't even care. I'm going for it. And that's just what we did. But we dug ourselves in such an awful hole that we had to just do so much work and never let off the gas. So we do hit a bunch of headshots. We go ahead, waste our ult a little bit. But one of the coolest things ever is the 5v5 ability this guy was hiding. So we went just enough to be able to hit him in the head over the wall before we drop, and it ends up working out great. We do want to focus this healer here, but we're terrible, and that is a problem. Luckily, we did end up getting the kill, and then the game ended up glitching out, and then we got back in, so that's what matters. And then we get to a 6 streak, and as that fort's on us, I realized I don't want to be anywhere near him. This is awful. So that's what we did. We leaped away, and we get the headshot, and then we miss because we're awful, but we do end up getting really good damage onto that Jabali, and then we get back. That way we have a better angle onto the healer, and then we don't have to worry about dying to the sniper. I figured the sniper's probably behind us, so I go back over and look, and sure enough, he used his ability to get back, and then I suck and missed a bunch. But luckily for me, I did have some pretty good health. I go ahead and heal and then push up with my team. I don't have time to stay back and worry about the sniper because, I mean, we're going to lose if I do that. But then all the members of Eternal Unity let my teammates cap and chase me around. That's just uncalled for. Like, that's not nice at all. But you know who is nice? Jordy Goes Rar, the best thumbnail guy in the game. And for very reasonable prices, he will make insane thumbnails for you just like he does for me. He is very easy to work with. If you're a moron like me when it comes to art stuff, you just give him your ideas, some screenshots, and he helps you come up with some great stuff just like this one. So go to the description, hit him up on Discord, and work out a deal for yourself. Alright guys, have a great day.